Hello everyone watching at home, you're with Sava McClinton from Adelaide Eternal, bringing you another 7-minute 7-point series deck tech. Today I'm bringing you my deck called Hootie the BUG Fish. So it has Hooting Mandrills and it is a bug deck, so it's black, blue and green, and it's a tempo deck, so therefore fish. So in a tempo deck what you have is cheap threats backed up by soft permission to allow you to ride them to victory, bashing your opponent's face in. Sounds good, right? So if you apply the Legacy Delver principle, you'll note that we have a very low land count. We only run 19 lands here. So if you want to play a deck that involves 41 playable spells, this is the type of deck for you. If you look at the bug deck in Legacy, you'll note that they have 16 lands that generate mana, and then they have 4 wastelands. For us, we have a very comparable mana base. We have a higher number of lands because we run an additional 3-drop. But other than that, compared to the bug deck in Legacy, we're basically the same in terms of our high end being 3 mana. They run maybe 3-3-drop threats, and we run 4, hence the additional couple of land. But this low land count enables you to play interactive spells and also spells that enable your delve game plan. So, if you're looking at a tempo deck, when you look at the tempo threats, what you want them to do is be very, very powerful by themselves. So for example, Tarmogoyf or any of these delve threats. Or you want them to be evasive. So having trample allows you to bash through 1/1 mana dork blockers or flying. And or True-Name Nemesis. And then the other one is they actually enable your game plan. And Grim Flayer does exactly that. Grim Flayer is probably the iconic card of this deck to give you an idea of the kind of guy you want to be playing. And it's actually one of the reasons why you're not running actual Delver of Secrets in here. So Delver of Secrets has a high amount of variance, and there are games you win with it on turn 1. Grim Flayer, however, is always relevant. He's basically always going to be a 4/4 in this deck. He'll always bash through 1/1 blockers, and he'll always trigger, allowing you to mill, just like Liliana the Last Hope, with no investment, and then allow you to play other delve spells later on in the game. So, your threats here are backed up by soft permission. We have free counter spells, which is very, very important because it keeps you on curve. We have cheap counter spells, again, keeping your curve very low. All of these cost 1 mana, and other forms of interaction other than counter spells. And then we have 2 mana interaction that is powerful. So for example, a hard say no, or cycling here to turn into one of another powerful card in the deck, or 2-for-1s and Collective Brutality. You have these amazing blowouts against burn, but it's basically always relevant in every matchup that you play, and you can side it out if it isn't. We have this, which is the glue that puts your deck together. You will have seen Mental Note and Thought Scour used in delve type strategies, and they are excellent here. In addition, we have Gitaxian Probe, which is free, and Mishra's Bauble. Mishra's Bauble, if you haven't seen this before, it's a slow trip, so you draw on your opponent's turn, but it's very rarely relevant when you draw that card, because we do have a high amount of instant speed interaction. The main thing is it's an artifact, so not only does it make your Tarmogoyf a 5/6 or a 6/7 often in game 1, but it also enables Delirium on Grim Flayer very, very often. So this is actually quite a powerful card, but it's a free roll in the deck. You don't want to overload on this effect, however. Then we have the mainstays of the format: Brainstorm, Ponder, Preordain, Gush, because we're a tempo deck and it's amazing, and Treasure Cruise, another delve card. So we have a total of 4 delve cards in the deck. Now we have the removal suite here, 4 very cheap and very versatile removal spells, including killing True-Name Nemesis. And then we have Liliana the Veiled doing the same thing here, but also against the combo decks, just upping constantly and discarding cards whilst you bash their face with a Hooting Mandrills is pretty good. Then we have Liliana the Last Hope, which is, alongside Grim Flayer, an icon of this deck. The -2 allows you to constantly have a threat on hand, but also it keeps milling your deck, which allows you to cast those delve threats. Now last of all, we have the main part of the deck which is unique, and that is Time Walk. So we have a huge Time Walk package here. Basically, Time Walk by itself says deal an extra 4 damage to your opponent, so it's kind of like a burn spell, giving you reach. It also often says activate a Planeswalker 1 more time, and if you have a combination of the 2 and sometimes 3 or more, then Time Walk is an absolute game winner. So that's why we employ the green in the deck to cast Regrowth, Regrowth to regrow Time Walk again, and Noxious Revival to do it again, and often you string together multiple turns with these, and the best part is these don't exile Time Walk, because then when you're done with all of these shenanigans, you play a Snapcaster Mage and Time Walk, exiling it permanently. Jace Vryn's Prodigy does the same thing, but it also allows you to flashback Gush and is a looter. So let's have a quick look at the sideboard. The sideboard's divided here into anti-creature, anti-combo, and anti-control. We're already really good against control decks because we are fundamentally tempo, and tempo preys on control, especially with its light disruption package. So that's why we only have a very small package here. Arguably, the 15th card in this deck is Leovold, Emissary of Trest. We generally don't really want value. We really just want to bash face and protect it with soft permission. So 3 drops are at a minimum in the deck. On that topic, when you look at 3 drops, there's often a lot of very, very good 3-drop hate. So for example, Arcane Lab and Energy Flux, and then you have, Thrun, for example, is 4 as well. These are just massive haymakers that wreck decks. However, we really, really struggle when we're trying to pack in too many mana costs into our deck. So we keep it low. So for example, using Null Rod instead of Energy Flux is a really, really good option. So against combo, you have Duress and Flusterstorm against most combo decks. The Graveyard Hate and Macabre can pick up the tempo plan as well when you need to. And Trigon Predator does the same thing there, and this is against built from scrap. Then against creatures, you get to Dark Blast, which dredges, and this is a removal spell too, as is this and this. And Grip of Phyresis is hilarious because we can actually employ their equipment against them. So if you like the look of the deck, sleeve it up and enjoy a little bit of Hootie and the BUG Fish. Thanks for watching, guys.